Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise. And we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Hello dear viewer and listener, my name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Let me welcome you to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Always a privilege to bring you empowering, life-changing business information. And this time I'm going to talk about all things to do with beauty, all things to do with fitness. And my guest, you'll find out just now, is a very, very exciting guest. But before I bring my guest in, please do me a small little service, a little small favor actually, and hit that subscribe button. We need your support, guys. I really, really need for you to subscribe, not just to view these videos. Thank you very much. Welcome, Ruby.
Thank you for having me.
Just tell the viewer who you are and give them just a snippet of your background.
Okay. Which camera am I looking in?
No, you're looking at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you said, my name is Ruby. I'm a personal trainer. I've gone into retail. So my brand is called Booty by Ruby. Mm-hmm. It's an athleisure brand. Most people don't know what athleisure is, but basically it's apparel that can be worn in the gym, but is also appropriate to be worn outside and leisurely.
Okay. Can you give examples of those?
Examples? Well, as of late, predominantly women, women enjoy being comfortable and wearing clothes that make them feel comfortable, make them feel beautiful, and are also functional. So that's basically what I provide.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Give us a little bit about your origins, so to speak, your background.
Okay. Well, originally I'm South African, but I grew up in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved back to Botswana. My father's business, he's in logistics.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'm here now.
Where in South Africa?
In Mafikeng. I was born there. My mother's from
town.
Yeah. My mom is from Joburg, and then my dad is from Cape Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of professional training and academics?
Business administration from UB.
From UB.
Yeah.
And when was that?
From 2016 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 2021. Yeah.
Okay. And what really sort of inspired to start Booty by Ruby? And why Booty?
Okay. Firstly, what inspired me was, as I said before, just enjoying being comfortable. So when I first started my fitness journey in 2018, I found that my weight was fluctuating because I was going from not doing any physical activity to lifting pretty heavy big girl weights, as I call them. So my weight was always fluctuating, and I would find that my jeans or things that I would usually wear wouldn't fit, and I would have to buy new ones like every 2 months. So I kind of got tired of that, and who wants to spend all that money? Jeans are not cheap, so who wants to spend all that money? So I kind of took refuge in my gym clothes. So yeah, that's basically what started my love for gym wear, and wanting to make a line that was appropriate, not just for gym, but to wear at school, to wear at the office, depending how your office environment is, grocery shopping and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in America, what were you doing?
Schooling. I was still young, so we were just there for my parents. They were working.
Okay. Is that where the idea for Booty started? Or
no.
Just tell us how it evolved. Yeah.
No, not at all, actually. It actually started here. Just to touch on that. I started off pretty small, pretty skinny. So when I started working out and lifting heavier weights, I developed a booty.
Yeah.
So because I started
Just from the weights.
from the weights,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that what they can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in school at UB where I started my fitness journey, people started realizing that, and I kind of became known for like
For
the
lack
girl
of a
with the
better word.
booty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of just took it on
Okay.
as Booty by Ruby. Yeah.
Okay. So you're proud of it. Mm-hmm. Now you do have boot camps. Tell us how that works.
Okay, so the boot camps actually started 2 years ago while I was still in UB, but because of school and other commitments, I wasn't able to take it on fully. So I brought it back in 2022, and yeah, basically it's a movement. It's not just a boot camp. It's I think of it more as like a women empowerment movement. Yes, we focus on booty and trying to get big and flat stomach, curves and all of that, but it's also a women empowerment movement. I really just want women to feel confident in themselves and their bodies, to become a bit more acquainted with what their bodies can do. Not just a lot of women, I find they get caught up in either just being a mom or just being a teacher or just being a wife and things like that. But I think that through training, physical training, it can just be kind of like an outlet to just be who you are, be yourself, be confident, be a woman, and be proud of it. So
what equipment comes to that boot camp?
For this particular boot camp, there's no equipment. We only use booty bands. So
What's that?
Booty bands are basically, the rubber resistance bands, the traditional ones? Yeah, so these ones are 2.0, if that makes sense, like the new and improved ones. So they're made of fabric. So they're a lot tougher. They also have like a rubber resistance on the inside, so they don't fold or like hurt your skin and things like that. Yeah, so it's a new and improved, boot. What is it? Resistance band.
Resistance band.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you need any special training to acquire the skills to do these boot camps or to do this training?
No, just School of Hard Knocks. Just learned on my own.
Oh.
What worked for me can work for anyone, so that's
Okay.
what I apply.
All right. Let's talk about it as a business. Give us the business side of it, how it started, and more importantly, what structures are in place.
So, in terms of the training boot camps and things like that, or the retail?
Both.
Okay.
Let's start with retail.
Okay, with retail, so it's a boutique, as I said, athleisure. We started in Botswana, but we have branched out into South Africa. It's not as easy, being that I'm still pretty young. I'm based in Botswana, trying to branch out into the South African market. But I've found that in South Africa, the fitness scene, especially amongst women, it's way bigger than the one in Botswana. Like, people understand it.
Is it simply a function of numbers? It's a bigger population?
Bigger population, and it's already taken off. So people already have fitness as a lifestyle. Some people don't even see it as like an extra luxury. They see it as like, no, this is necessary in life, with groceries, school fees, things like that. Whereas in Botswana, it's still a bit, it's still a bit new. Yeah, so definitely that's the difference. But it's very exciting. It's difficult, but it's very exciting, and it's a learning experience because, as I said, I'm young, I guess, in the spectrum of life.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a learning experience, and there has been a few knocks along the way, but
in the sense that?
In the sense of, as you were saying, structures. So the things that I use for maybe marketing in Botswana, or advertising, or even structures of just couriering orders and things like that, it's not the same in South Africa. So you definitely have to be versatile, open-minded, and flexible. Yeah.
What are the main differences, would you say?
In South Africa and Botswana.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, you mean in the market?
Yeah. What the differences in the markets?
Okay, as I was...
Or in the response of the public to your product.
I can definitely say, if we're speaking like economically, or in the way the market receives Booty by Ruby, they love it. Like even just the name, it's just like, oh wow, Booty by Ruby. Like,
yeah. Both sides of the border.
I'd say more in South Africa. In Botswana, I think people are a bit more like, I don't know, taken off guard by the name.
By the name Booty. Yeah. Yeah. How you can be so upfront about it.
Yeah. But that goes back to my point of the women empowerment aspect. I feel like women should be open. Women should be confident in themselves and their bodies. Not to say you should go gallivanting, and
occasionally
exposing.
You do gallivant. Nothing wrong with that.
But
you agree?
Myself.
Yeah.
Gallivanting. Not exactly.
Well, it depends on your definition of the word.
Of gallivanting. Yeah, but I just, I want my brand to make women feel confident, to make them feel beautiful, and to make them feel comfortable in their own skin. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the online boutique. I just want you to share the basic setup, how it is, and perhaps even share with us some of the challenges you're encountering.
Okay, so basically an online boutique. As I said before, I have a room.
Just a
at
room?
home, with storage, all the stock and everything. So everything is centralized. I keep track of the stock. I do the accounting. I do all of that on my own. So I guess I could say that's one of the challenges as a growing entrepreneur. Still small, but a growing entrepreneur. Everything is on my shoulders, so that can prove to be a bit challenging. But yeah, we managed.
Okay. Are you getting to a point where you are seeking for stores to distribute for you, or how does it happen? Since you're not you don't have a brick and mortar store.
I've thought about it, but I think for now I'm happy just keeping everything centralized and just kind of keeping the authenticity of my brand. So I think for now I'm okay just as a boutique distributing my own name, my own brand. Yeah.
And what did you say are the products or the stuff that seems to be selling like hotcakes? Where do you think the biggest demand is?
I think the biggest demand is, well, personally in my brand, I can say that there's this one particular set that I have. It's called the Orange You Hot set. So it's basically almost like a neon orange set. And the women seem to love that one. I think.
What is it made up? What was the top and the? What is it physically? What is it?
So it's basically a sports bra and just like long leggings. And as I said, I wish I brought some here.
I wish you had. Yeah.
It's a bright orange color. That's one of my biggest sellers besides the booty bands that I mentioned before. So. Yeah.
Do you see yourself expanding to other countries?
I do. Botswana is great because I consider myself a pioneer in my line of athleisure in Botswana. So that's great. It's nice to kind of...
So it's really athletic leisure
yes.
wear.
There you go.
Yeah, athleisure.
Yes.
Okay. In fact, it's the stuff you can go to the gym with and then go to the mall with.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
So long as the booty is taken care of.
As long as it's
Yeah. Because I think there's all right. You do have an opinion on women in business. What is your take on that?
Personally, I feel that it's important for women to be in business. I do know, as of right now, you mainly find men in business. Men tend to be the dominators. Is that a word? Dominators.
Yeah.
In business, but I think it's good for women to be in business. To empower themselves economically. Not to say there's anything wrong with the 9 to 5, but me personally, I enjoy being a business owner because it allows me to be creative.
You've never been quite a 9 to 5?
No.
Okay.
No.
Straight from university
Straight from
to
university,
business?
yeah.
And you think women should model that?
I think so. Business will really help you learn about yourself. I think in a 9 to 5, you're confined. You're kind of just told what to do. A, B, and C. Don't really go outside of that. Whereas when you're a business owner, you're free to...
But the irony is that you need employees. You need the 9 to 5ers
True.
to run a business.
True.
Yeah.
I would just rather be not the employee. Yes. Not to offend anyone, but I would rather not be the employee. Yeah.
But there are people who just make it work. I mean, even at the highest level, managing directors, CEOs, people
True.
really work their way up.
True.
Now, and do you think Botswana business, women in Botswana are embracing business?
I think so. I actually think so, yes. I think some women do it from a perspective of just purely economics, but I also think that a lot of women do it out of passion and also feeling the need to be more creative in their industry or whatever it is they're passionate about. So I think women are embracing.
And beyond the booty business, Booty by Ruby business, what other businesses are you exploring?
Right now, currently, it's personal training, corporate training and personal training. It's the retail side, and I have a few things that I want to venture into. I'd rather not say it before it's still premature.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely do have other ventures I'm looking into, and I'm excited. Still around the booty and women empowerment thing, because I'm really big on the women empowerment aspect.
Talk to me about the corporate training and give examples of who you've trained and how do you go about it.
Okay, so I actually, with the corporate training, some of the clients I do on my own, some of the clients I actually have a partner, a training partner. So I can say one of the newer clients, their name is Red Pepper. They're a marketing agency. And I personally love the corporate training. It's corporate training, but with team building as well. So because it's now mixed with men and women, it's not as Booty by Ruby. It's more just team building, empowering.
Where do you normally go and what do you do when you get there?
Where do I go for?
For the training.
We go to the offices.
So okay. It's not like out somewhere.
No.
Oh.
We bring it straight to the office.
And what happens? You ask them to wear their gym clothes and...
Yes. You change out of your 9 to 5 attire, change into your comfortable gym wear, and then we usually do like very interactive. When I say high intensity, I don't mean it's...
You do sweat a bit.
Yes, you will sweat, but it's always fun. And even the people who maybe are completely new to fitness, they always have a blast. They always say how good they feel after the workouts. And yeah, it's always just good to get a break from the 9 to 5, sitting in front of a computer.
How does it help with the team building?
With the fitness aspect?
Yes.
With fitness, depending on obviously the structure of how you do it. So how we do it is we make sure it's interactive. No man is an island in our classes. So we make sure that the exercises we do are interactive. You have to help your partner. Whatever your partner is doing, if they don't do well, you fail. If you don't do well, they fail. So we kind of just keep it in that.
So how many groups do you train at a time? And And for somebody who might be watching, what do they have to do to qualify to be trained by you?
Anyone qualifies.
Oh.
Anyone qualifies.
Okay.
Training, fitness for me is almost like it's almost like a hospital. So healthy people don't go to the hospital. It's sick people who go to the hospital.
And fit people come for training.
There you go. So even if you are a new person, exercising doesn't have to be super strenuous. It's not like the CrossFit bodybuilders, the things you see probably on Instagram, or like these crazy buff women. It really could just be, I always tell my clients, start small. Honestly, start small, especially if you're new. It could be 15 minutes of brisk walking a day. And then after 2 weeks, you can increase to 30 minutes. And then maybe after a month, you can increase to light jogging, things like that. So my classes are definitely fit for anyone. So anyone qualifies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any special exercises or routines specifically targeting the booty that you specialize
there
are they the kind that you can share here, or?
Yeah, they are. Before I answer that, just to go back, for anyone who wants to get involved, they can DM, or they can DM me on Instagram. They can WhatsApp me through my business number. I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask you to share the numbers at the end.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, answer the other question.
The exercises.
Are there any special ones? Because the booty is involved, so I'm just thinking, oh yeah, if the booty is involved in the name of the company, so maybe there are special
exercises
for it.
My favorite one that I would say is called hip thrust. I don't
You can't demonstrate it here, but you can explain, yeah.
So it's basically if you are lying down on your back with your knees upwards, and then you push through your heels so that your bum goes from the ground upwards.
Straightening your body like this.
Straightening your body, exactly. And then what I would usually do is just hold that position for as long as possible, usually a minute. So that's one of my favorite ones.
And then you do that repetitively?
Yes.
Up to how many repetitions a day? Or it differs from one person to the other?
I think it differs, especially on your fitness levels.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me, usually when it comes to leg day, booty day, an hour, nothing more than an hour I take.
Let's talk about your content creation. First, how did you start, and what content are we talking about?
Okay. So the content creation is a bit more of the newer ventures that I'm going into, because with the training aspect, it's more in-person engagement. You don't really need the social media aspect. But of late, especially with the Booty by Ruby Boutique and my personal brand, content creation on Instagram, kind of Facebook, is very important, because these days, social media, it's like the new currency, it's the new marketing. It's very powerful. Like, if, at least with my generation, if you're not on social media, you don't exist. You don't have a voice. Yeah, so with my brand and just the vision I have for it, and of expanding. And
so what content have you created, and where do we find it?
So I have a personal brand as well. It's not just the Booty by Ruby, where it's just me. It's lifestyle, fitness, and self-improvement.
With Ruby Sechele.
With Ruby Sechele, yes. So that's my personal Instagram, which is She Is Ruby on Instagram. Yes, I create content traveling. I love traveling.
So do people pay you to travel to the places, and then?
I've had a few partnerships, not paid yet, but more like gifted. So like lodges inviting me to stay at their place for maybe 2 nights. 2 nights, 2 days.
Then you take as many pictures as you can.
Yeah, and videos and things like that. Yeah.
And then maybe not critique, but I mean
review.
Review. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Women's health, women's mental health.
Yeah.
Why is that a concern for you, and what's your take on it?
It's a concern. It's a concern for me because I've had my own run-ins with mental health, and I think that.
Is it something you're willing to share?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that I wouldn't say that it's not spoken about enough. I think it is, but I think there's still a bit of like taboo around it, or just maybe uncertainty around it. There's not enough clarity, I'll say that, around mental health. So especially when it comes to now women in business, and then some women, as I said, are mothers, some women have so many other commitments, mental health can really become a bit fragile. And then also, because I've had my own run-ins with it, I can tell you personally that you don't always know that your mental health is declining when it starts doing so, until it gets to maybe like a
So
really...
what were your run-ins? What happened?
Just anxiety, comparison, things like that.
What do you mean?
Comparison with business. Sometimes you can see other people from, back to social media, from the US or from UK or from all these other places who are your age, but they're doing exploits already.
You don't know that they rent in these Lamborghinis. They're just showing off.
They do, but some people actually have...
Some of them belong to their old uncles.
Yeah, true.
And they just pose with them. It's just
True.
a lot of
True.
Yeah,
Pretentiousness, yeah, that's very true. But I mean, if that's what you're presented with, your mind and your soul just takes in what you feed it. So you don't always think like, that's rented, or because they make it look so good, you know? So yeah, those things can come into play. And so I think mental health is something that we definitely, as women, whether in business or not in business,
I've
need
always
to take.
wondered, still on the subject of mental health, why it's generally more the males than the females who commit suicide, who succumb to the pressures of mental health
Yeah.
or ill health.
I actually think that maybe because men aren't taught to express themselves as much as women are. Growing up, we're allowed to cry, we're allowed to be sad, we're allowed to be happy, we're allowed to be passionate, we're allowed to be loving and soft, and even hard these days with the feminist movements. If we want to be fierce and aggressive and not as feminine, we can do that. But men, it's like, nope, this is your way, you can't go any other way. If you do, we question your manhood type thing. Yeah, so I
we
think
say
that,
man up. That's the worst thing that you can say to a man, man up.
Yeah,
True. Like you're not really a man just because you show the softer side.
Yeah.
So you're not doing it organizationally, it's just an informal thing you do on your own. Mental health activism, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that's just a passion of mine at the moment. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to business. What would you say were the toughest challenges for you? What were the struggles?
I think I would say the toughest struggles were more of the mental side. As I said, the comparison, the doubting, the self-sabotage. Like there's a lot of that.
How did you sabotage yourself?
It's very easy.
You don't seem to be capable of such a thing.
It's very easy. Like sometimes you can have a vision or a dream or something you want to accomplish in your business, and then thoughts will just cross your mind and be like, do you really want to do that? Do you think you have the manpower to do that? Do you think you have the resources to do that? Why don't you just stay where you are? Don't step on any toes. Don't try to think outside the box. That's what I mean by self-sabotage. And it's very real. And you won't realize it until you look at your checklist and you realize I talked myself out of A, B, C, and D. No one else talked me out of it. It was me with my doubtful thinking.
Can you give specific examples so we really understand what these struggles were in business?
I would say wanting to expand from Botswana to South Africa. That's a big step. You need connections. You need to find the best ways of sending your orders out. You need to make sure that you're not overcharging your customers now to pay for all the back-end things that need to happen in order for them to get their products. So that can be scary, especially when it's centralized and it's just you. You know, so sometimes I would talk myself out of it and say, no, why don't you just stay in Botswana? You don't need to expand. Why are you trying to be big? Why don't you just stay local? So
how did you overcome that?
I just did it. You just have to do it.
Yeah. The solution is just to do it.
Just to do it. With fitness as well. Just do it. Yeah.
Nike was right.
There you go.
All right. You already touched on this comparisons between business and 9 to 5, but I want you to take a bit of time doing a sort of comparative analysis, you know?
Ooh, okay.
if you like, you know?
Okay.
Compare and contrast business versus 9 to 5.
9 to 5. I would definitely say with business, because you are the boss, you're your own boss, you would think you would have more time as a business owner, but I would argue to say you actually have less time.
When you start.
Yes, when you start. Because you're the marketing department, you're the finance
CEO,
department,
receptionist.
CEO, like you're everything. So you really, you take on a lot of jobs, and at the beginning you'll definitely not have a lot of time. Whereas 9 to 5, maybe you would. Also financially, with business, not at the beginning, but as you go on. As you grow, you definitely you have freedom to do things. You don't have to put in leave. You don't have to ask anyone, hey, can I have 5 days off? You can do things. You'll find that your business will actually take you to other places. Whereas majority of 9 to 5s, you're basically just in your locality. And as I said about creativity, as a business owner, you're free to be creative. Whereas with the 9 to 5, you're basically put in a box and you're told, this is how you do it. Don't try to be different. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about your end goal. I mean, I guess here we're talking the crystal ball issue in terms of what you see with the brand Ruby Sechele, what you see with your business going down a decade or so.
Okay. I definitely want to be the athleisure brand of choice and a household name. Especially right now I'm focusing on the SADC region. I would love to just conquer the SADC region. Definitely, I would like to not just be a business owner, but also seen as like almost like a Mother Teresa, like someone who women can look to for like solace and like mental health advice, and just kind of like a beacon of hope for women, so that they know that it can be done. Whether you're from SA, Botswana, Zambia, like any country in SADC, you can do it. Like it's.
Yeah, when you talk like that, I'm just wondering whether you are a practitioner of personal development, because it seems to me like you want to grow, and personal development for me is a vehicle for growth.
Yeah.
And if you are, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I definitely am. So I'm not a TV watcher. I don't watch TV. It's probably been like 4 years. I think it's a waste of time. But I love YouTube. I'm always on YouTube watching videos about how I can better myself, how I can improve my skill. Even with the content creation, I'm always watching videos about that, about mental health.
I couldn't help noticing that with your makeup, you put a lot of work into it.
Yes.
Is it also from YouTube and so on?
No, this is trial and error.
It's what?
Trial and error.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely, self-improvement is also a big thing for me as well, yeah.
So it's mainly through the University of YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It also helps with the business as well.
Yeah, true.
All right. What's next? What's the immediate future?
The immediate future is establishing. Okay, it's still premature, but definitely establishing brick and mortars outside of Botswana. Yeah, I'll say that for now.
Okay.
Definitely establishing physical shops outside of Botswana.
Does America feature in all of this?
Right now, once again, premature. But there's definitely plans of branching out there. But once again, that obviously takes a lot of researching,
planning.
logistics, planning. Yeah, so, yeah.
This is the time of the show when you get to ask me a question. Do you have a question for me?
Okay. Why did you get into property?
Well, I saw it as a vehicle for growth. I had, as a student, fancied myself as an architect because I was good at technical drawing.
Okay.
And that's when maybe the first seeds of property interest started. So when I then, encountered a problem as a lawyer, which threatened my career, I started going deeper into property in terms of actually attending seminars, reading all the books I could get hold of, and learning, and even going to study property. So it became an area of interest initially as a way of diversifying in case I lose my opportunity to be a lawyer. But when I succeeded in resisting that effort, in other words, I was able to withstand the attack, then I saw that it was a beautiful opportunity. So what started as a horrible situation then became a blessing, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That camera is for you to just share with the viewer one final concluding encouraging message.
I would say have a goal, and I know this is very cliche, but really have a goal, have a vision, and work on your mindset, because a lot of people, I feel, have negative mindsets, though they want to do such big things. I personally believe that it starts with your mindset. If you have a strong mindset, positive mindset, you can do anything. So just keep going, don't give up, and persevere.
Okay. All right. Can you share all your contact details and everywhere, including social media?
Okay. My business WhatsApp, you can contact me there on 751-97-385. And then social media, my personal one is she_is_Ruby, RUBY. And then my business Instagram is Booty by Ruby. So BOOTY by Ruby.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank
You've been a great guest. You've done a good job. Thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you.